bushes there, you're going to see that okapi. It's back by that fence far over there on the right. Okapis have striped legs that make them look like they're related to the zebra, but they're actually related to the giraffe. They have ossicone horns on top of their head and a bone structure similar to that of a giraffe. They also have long prehensile tongues to help them to grasp leaves and branches off of taller trees. And they use infrasonic communication to talk to their young calves. Left-hand side up there are some bongos. Bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest because they're hardly seen. They have horns that lean straight back to help them go quickly through the underbrush. And there's also some greater kudu down there, those lighter ones. Greater kudu can get up to 4 to 5 feet tall up to the shoulder. And those are females because they do not have horns. The male greater kudu have horns. And they both have these white stripes to help them stay camouflaged. Kind of looks like rays of sunlight coming in through the forest. And we're going to leave behind the little cherry forest. And we're going to head into the Safi River and see what aquatic animals we can find. See the hippo on that right side?
Very far right hand side.
So very far back there. Hippos will stay underwater for most of the day. You want to keep from overheating. So they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. There's also a hippo on this left-hand side here. Oh, and it's coming out. Hippos actually don't swim, but they walk along the river usually, walk along the bottom. You can see this one also really close to us here. They can get up to 5,500 pounds. And they consume about 70 to 90 pounds of vegetation a day. Also up on this island are some pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans get their coloring during mating season. It kind of looks like they're blushing a little bit. They have a wingspan of about 7 to 9 feet. Alright, if you guys look on that left-hand side, you're going to see some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles can get up to 16 feet long on average, about over 40 years old is their lifespan. They typically eat fish, but they'll eat anything unfortunate to cross their path, like wildebeest or zebras. The one thing that they do consume, the one thing that they don't consume, that they let into their mouth are their young. They actually roll their young eggs around in their mouth to help them emerge and hatch. Both the females and males help out that process. And if you saw any of them with their mouths hanging open, they're actually not waiting for the next meal to crawl in. They're helping their body temperature to regulate. They want to keep the cool air coming in, hot air coming out, so they'll open their mouths. Also on this right hand side is a baobab tree. Baobab trees are also called upside down trees because it looks like their roots are sticking straight up. But it's actually because they don't grow leaves for about 9 months. And in that time, they'll store large amounts of water in those wide trunks that they have, and different animals like elephants will tear through that bark to get that water resource on those hot summer days. And here's one of the nicest views of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. We're entering the savannah. Disney animators actually came out to East African savannah about 25 years ago where they gained inspiration for what we now know to be the Lion King. So we're gonna head out here and see if we can find any of our Lion King friends in the savannah. So the first animal that I see is an Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle have very large horns, about 3 to 4 feet in length. They use them as an AC. So like a little AC unit over their head. Their blood will flow through those horns, through the rest of their body to help keep them from overheating too. Their horns look like they'd be pretty heavy, but they actually have a honeycomb-like structure on the inside of them. They're some of the only domesticated animals in the reserve. They were domesticated. Oh, there it goes. They're domesticated by the Watusi tribe. And the Maasai tribe of Africa looks to them as a symbol of wealth. Alright, if you guys look on that left-hand side, you're going to see that hyena hanging out in that cave over there. Yeah, it's on the left.
I know you're short.
I'm always like, and look at the monster.
It looks just like my dog.
The lowest ranking female in a hyena clan is still ranked higher than the highest ranking male. And when they're born, their teeth are emerging and their eyes are open, unlike other big mammals. And they're thought to be scavengers, but they actually hunt the majority of their food, those hyenas. Also up here, you're going to see some springbok.
There's a squirrel there. Squirrel!
A wild squirrel, yeah. There's also springbok over there on that far side. Springbok can jump 6 feet up in the air when they're alarmed and 13 feet across. That's why they are called the springbok. And on this right-hand side here, you can see some white-bearded wildebeest. White-bearded wildebeest will travel in groups of up to 1.5 million in number. And they'll migrate for 500 to 1,000 miles every year. And they can sleep in rows at nighttime to help them escape faster if they need to. Also, many of the animals here in Harambe and here in Africa will learn each other's alert signals so that they are able to escape from danger faster. Even if they're different species, they will learn each other's alert and warning noises. Also, many of the animals will give birth at nighttime because it adds an extra layer of protection, the darkness. And if you see any of these termite mounds around here, termite mounds are used by elephants as a scratching post. They'll scratch up against those termite mounds, and once they're worn down enough, different animals will take advantage of it, like antelopes. They'll crawl on top of it to get a good vantage point over any predators. So just on this right-hand side, you're going to see that Patterson's eland. There's a couple of them. There's a tannish ones. Patterson's eland can be up to 2,200 pounds. And they can jump 6 feet high as well as those springbok that we saw back there, and they are far heavier. So here we're going to pass by some white-bearded wildebeest as well as some more Ankole cattle up ahead.
I got a small signal for at flamingo water. Trip is by the extra time.
Jeszcze nie proszę. Nie proszę.
Yeah, if you look on that left, you're going to see that giraffe crossing through. But we're going to see some more up ahead, I think. There's a little bit up here. There we go. So gonna come up to this tower of giraffes. That's what a group of giraffes is called, because they tower over everything else in the savannah. The babies are actually born at 6 feet tall, and they can start walking only after an hour of being born. You can tell they're Maasai giraffes because they have a certain spot pattern that has a rigid edge around it, kind of like a puzzle piece. And no two giraffes have the same spot pattern, kind of like how no two humans have the same fingerprint. Giraffes only sleep for about 30 minutes in one day, and they do so standing up because they don't want to be too vulnerable to their predators. And giraffes are pretty gentle creatures, but a healthy grown adult will not often be attacked by a lion because they don't want to be anywhere near their strong kicks. And they also have about 10 times thicker hair than we do, so they use their tails as a little bug spray for them. It swats away all the flies and bugs. Anything out here, so we're gonna keep going and head on over and see what else we can find. Down that right hand side, you're going to see some tusk marks. Those are from elephants using their tusks to get important minerals from that red clay that they'll consume. There's a couple more baobab trees over here as well. They're also known as the tree of life because they help sustain the life to the animals. So on this left-hand side, you're going to see this group of flamingos. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. And also, if you look very far back in that far field over there, you can see that elephant, yeah. It's kind of far away from us, but you can see its tusks facing us. You can tell it's an African elephant, not an Asian elephant, because its ears are wide at the top and then they come and narrow down. Elephants will flap their ears back and forth to help decrease their body temperature by 15 degrees. And they'll also use their wide trunks, their long trunks, to put dirt and sand and mud up on their back. It helps cool them down. Kind of like their own sunscreen, makeshift sunscreen. And those flamingos that we saw back there will get their pink coloring from all the brine shrimp they consume. It contains keratin. And not every animal is fortunate enough to have the luxury of that nice long trunk to put sand and dirt and mud up on their back when they're feeling hot in the summer. Or in all the seasons. So they'll roll around in mud pits like this on the left-hand side. Bigger animals will do that. And it helps cool them down as well. And also helps keep parasites away. The elephants were pretty social creatures. The mothers stay with their young for most of their lives, except the males will leave at about 13 years old. And they'll go off on their own and be single or in bachelor groups. Guys, look up on that left-hand side there. You're gonna see that cheetah. It's just hanging out by those logs. Cheetah can get up to 60 miles per hour in just 1 to 3 seconds. They also have black tear marks under their eyes to help reflect the sun, kind of like football players have those black patches under their eyes. Helps reflect the sun because cheetahs hunt during the day. And looks like there's another one over here. Unlike other big cats that hunt at nighttime, the cheetahs will hunt during the daytime, and they'll use their tails as a rudder to help them balance.
Oh, there's another one right there. Sunbathing.
They can't keep that speed, 60 miles per hour, for very long, though. They only go in short bursts of speed. Oh, and just up ahead are some Kopi rocks, and if you guys look close, you can see that lion. On that left-hand side right there. He looks like he's kind of just facing us, ready for a picture to be taken. Kopi rocks are an island of rocks that lions will usually use as their habitat to get a good vantage point over their prey in the savannah. Lions have just as good eyesight as we do during the day, but at nighttime, their vision increases.